Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And that's right. And you tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast, where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. What's up, bro?
Man, uh, listen, there's a conversation to be had today,
Oh,
which
absolutely.
we'll get into what I'm talking about, somewhere in the middle or whatever. But I will say this though, I was fooled because I guess because what I found out at the beginning of this movie is that this is a movie that's based in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it must have been like out in
Oh,
like
yeah.
Australia in 2022
Yeah.
because I felt like this movie didn't hit theaters over here till like last year or something like
Well,
that.
it was from what I know, it was a film festival movie. And then it
Yeah,
got picked up, and I'm assuming it came out internationally last year.
yeah,
But
because I thought it was newer, but
yeah, I
you
did
know,
too. I definitely did
yeah,
too. But before we get to that, you know what I'm saying? Second episode of the week, so you guys already I'm sorry, it's not
no,
second episode of the
no,
week. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Never mind. Don't worry about that. I'm all jumped up, man. Soccer practice got me messed up, bro. Anyway,
that's how you good.
but no, you right. I do agree with you. I think it was dropped last year internationally, and then it was out because when it pulls up, it says film festival. So um I'm assuming this was that type of movie. But I mean, needless to say, we can go ahead and just, you know what I'm saying, get straight to it, man. Today we are talking about the movie Talk to Me. It came out in 2022 slash 2023. Rated R with an hour and 35-minute runtime. This movie stars Ari McCarthy, Hamish Phillips, Kit Earhart Bruce, and a bunch of other people that we don't know. Um,
Yeah,
but basically, this movie is about a group of teenagers who have this party, and during this party, they have a embalmed hand of what they think is either a um uh oh my god, what is the thing? What is the person called? Spirit guide or a witch or something like that they were saying.
okay,
Um and basically they they all take turns by touching this hand, and when they touch the hand well, before they touch the hand, they sit down, they get strapped to a chair, they touch the hand and they say talk to me, and then they see a spirit or a ghost or whatever they wanted to call it. And then after they do that, they then say I let you in, and the spirit or ghost takes over their body. um and of course, teenagers being teenagers, things happen that definitely shouldn't happen. So um first initial reaction. Go.
um, first initial reaction was first of all, I love the way the movie started.
Hmm.
The first scene of the movie was really good, and it had me thinking like, "Oh shit! Like we got something here." That you do walking to a party. Even walking to the party kind of give you Project X vibes.
Yeah.
Dude is walking, and next thing you know, you got to bang down his door because the dude is in there. Dude, you get the dude out, and then obviously with the times being what they are, everybody got their camera phones out. Dude is trying to defend the guy, like, yo, to put your cameras up, put your cameras up. You hear a knife, all of a sudden, a dude stabs him, and then goes outside, stabs himself in the face. And like that's how the movie starts. I'm like, oh shit, well we got something here. And then it's like, then we get to going, and then you get the first initial scene of this actually happening, and I'm like, Yo, these are dumbass teenagers. This is entertainment. Like this is entertaining. Like this to me, this was more of a advanced Ouija board type of thing. Like
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of really the same concept, but they just kind of using this hand that we thought was made of like I don't know initially what I thought it was made out of, but the
Mhm.
dude said it was actually like a dead person's like hand,
Yeah. It's an
arms,
embalmed
like
hand.
yeah. So it's just like okay, well that's super weird. But I
Right.
don't know, man. Like when watching this, my initial thought was just like them having fun playing with dead spirits. I'm like, I don't find that as a good time.
I
Like
know.
I don't understand like what's so fun and what's so funny about this shit. Like I didn't I guess I'm just maybe I'm too old because I thought the shit I thought it was dumb as hell. Like
Right.
y'all like first of all, man, you know, that's why I said a Ouija board because they tell you that the evil spirits and ghosts and all this type of shit when you're doing a Ouija board and it spells out shit and all of this. But like in this instance, especially with the whole part of like you see it and then you're inviting a spirit or a ghost to get inside of you, and
Hmm.
then you say the shit is fun. Nah, bro, mm-mm,
Yeah. Shit. Crazy.
not doing it. Not doing it, man. What was your initial thoughts in watching this movie?
So when I watched this, initially I wanted to see this off rip anyway, right? Because when I first
Okay.
seen the trailer for it, the trailer seemed, you know, a lot more, engaging than what the actual movie was. I will say that. The trailer hyped it up. The trailer made this seem like
Hmm.
this was about to be some shit. Um, Unfortunately, you can't always believe the hype. But I will say that this is one of those things that when you always hear me complain about the creativity, like we need new shit to see, we need new shit to come up with. This is one of those things that is new. You know what I'm saying? I appreciated um the freshness of this movie because we've
Yeah.
never seen anything like this, right? We've never seen this type of premise before, at least. So I appreciated that. Um, the movie centered around a young girl, Mia, who lost her mom. Um, I believe 2 years prior, and then uh, it was around the anniversary of her mom's passing, and so on and so forth. So she was already going through some things. She was super close with Jay and Riley. And so, she hung out with them and everything else. She really wasn't cool with her dad, it seemed like. Um, I'm assuming because of what happened with her mom. Something maybe that had something to do with it. And it kind of showed something like that throughout the movie, but I really still didn't even understand that. Um, but what was wild was like you said, just the fact that they're playing with a dead hand. I was like, yeah, that's I'm automatically out. When you pull that out at the party, I don't give a fuck how much we drinking. I don't care how many drugs we taking. I'm out. Okay, I'm sobering
Yeah.
up and I'm out of there because that's not my type of party. So yeah, I'm out of there. Um, but I did think it was super interesting that she was. It seemed like she was chosen in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Because when you seen her interact with the hand, she was actually like talking. Everybody else was like doing like dumbass movements and like zombie shit. Like hers, she was like talking. And then she looked at Riley and was like, "Yeah, he gonna get you. He gonna get you." Type shit. So I'm like, okay, she different. She's special. Something what I'm saying going on with her. And then we see later on in the movie exactly what it was. But
Do you think because she was the only one that was grieving, maybe out of
maybe
all of
so.
those people, she was the only one that just recently dealt with death, and
Maybe so.
maybe the spirits kind of felt like, oh well, she's more vulnerable because someone close to her died, and
Absolutely.
she's actually here with like the person that died is here with us. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
we're
you make a great point. You make a very good point because we see that um throughout all of this, I thought it was different because as the first time they did it, right? She went there and she interacted, she did the thing, and that's when she was doing the thing with Riley and all that shit. And then after she went, somebody else went and a couple other people went, and her mom never took that body over, right? She never took none of those bodies over. And it could have happened right then and there, but it didn't. And
yeah.
then the one time you know, they all sitting at the house, Sue, which is Riley and Jay's mom, she leaves and goes to work or whatever, and then they out there, they got a couple people over, they kicking it, and this was the time that they decided that, uh, or this was the time Mia's mom decided to encompass a body. And so I thought that was, you know what I'm saying, like that was super weird, and especially the body that she encompassed because the time before we see her telling Riley, he's after you. And then when it's Riley getting in it, even though Jade already said, like, no, y'all too young, you don't need to be doing this, da da da. Which this is my problem. This is my one problem.
Okay.
You can't say you can't do this and then leave. You can't do that.
Facts.
Because whoever you told you can't do this is going to go do it as soon as you leave. He ended up talking to Mia. Mia like, yeah, okay, 50 seconds. And the okie doke happened. You know what I'm saying? The mom come in. She talking about, oh, I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt you. I miss you. And da da da. And whoever was supposed to get this nigga got this nigga. Basically, that's what happened in the midst of the transference. You know what I'm saying? The body jumping shit, whatever that's supposed to be. So I thought that was crazy. And then I'm assuming because the mom was there, old girl had called it out. She said, that's 50 seconds. And she like, nah, just a little bit longer. Now, the crazy part is, I'm not sure if she said this before, but the one girl was like, yo, if it's past 90 seconds, we can't go past 90 seconds. The first time they did it, when they was at the first party and they was doing it. She
Yeah.
said, like, we can't go past 90 seconds. But somehow it went from 50 seconds to 2 minutes. Did you peep that?
I did peep that.
That was weird.
But at the same time, it kind of got out of control because Riley started banging his head on shit. So that they're
Well,
like they don't
that was
know.
that was when the 2 minutes was already passed, remember? Because they was talking, she was like, it's 50 seconds. And she was like, no, 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 give him more time. So they continued to talk, go through all that. And then that's when he started choking and doing all that other shit. And then the chair just like, no, he started banging his head on the desk. The
Mhm.
chair snatches him back, and then he started banging his head on the ledge.
Yeah,
And then it was like, yo, in 2 minutes,
try to
that's
take his eye
crazy.
out and everything.
Yeah, that was wild. So that kind of threw me off of everything because I'm like, all right, 90 seconds is a minute and 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little crazy. So anyway, needless to say, I enjoyed it nonetheless. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Like I said, I enjoyed the freshness of the premise, but I mean, we gonna get into it, of course. First and foremost, we already talked a little bit about Mia. Let's get a little bit more into her character. Um, when we first are introduced to her character, it's at, I'm assuming, like the anniversary of her mom's death or whatever, and they're all
Well,
talking about
I think it was the actual funeral, wasn't it?
it might have been.
Well, at
That's
least
what I
like
was
maybe not the
confused
funeral,
with.
but like the wake, like because it seemed like they wasn't like at the burial site. They was kind of like probably at her dad's house, and they had the people over. Everybody had the black on and whatever, and the one lady
But
was
it was
talking
crazy
to
because,
her.
like, where the fuck was her dad?
No, I think he was there. I think he was there, but they didn't really get it. Like they didn't show him because I don't know who the lady was that she was talking to.
That was her. I I think her aunt. She said her aunt.
I would think it was. I think it was probably was her mom's sister.
I think so too.
and like they was talking, and then it kind of like it jumped, like and
Okay, so
I'm
that
thinking
might
it
have
was
been
like
your
a
twins
vision.
then.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was like the vision of her head. Maybe she was just thinking about it, because
Hmm.
then all of a sudden she was sitting there with headphones on, and she was like at a school
Listening
or something.
to her mom's videos and shit. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, now
Yeah,
I understand. Okay, because I'm sitting because I remember them saying something about 2 years, and I'm like, well, that was just so it must have been like a flashback or whatever. Okay, that makes sense. So we see that her and her dad don't have the best relationship or whatever, or maybe that has strained her and her dad's relationship. Um, and then we see her pop up at Sue's house with Jade and Riley. Well, she went to go pick Riley up, drop him off, and we see her and Jade talking or whatever. And then we figure out that her and Jade have something in common, which is a boyfriend. So Mia's ex boyfriend is now Jade's boyfriend. Um, what was this dude's name? Uh, I don't know the nigga name. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
oh man. Okay, so this makes sense.
Haley, is it Daniel? Yeah, Daniel. Daniel was the boyfriend.
Yes.
Um, so you know what I'm saying? They once her and Jay, you could tell they was all cool. You know what I'm saying? You could tell they was like best friend type shit. You know what I'm saying? Jade is a little different because like Jade is kind of you could tell she getting into her like teenage years and shit like that. She got a boyfriend now, and then her mom is what I'm saying kind of on her about it because she don't want her to be a whore. But I mean, she's a teenager with a boyfriend, so she's not a whore. We know that. She just don't want her fucking. Basically, that's
Yeah.
all that was. Which I thought was funny the way the mom was going about the shit, but whatever. Um, and then Riley, you know what I'm saying? He seemed like what I'm saying, the younger innocent brother who he ain't really into a lot of shit. He don't really into, what I'm saying, a lot of things. He kind of just moving along. You feel me?
Yeah.
So those are the three main characters throughout this whole thing, and that was pretty much what this movie was based around. Um, so like, what in this movie at least stood out to you, where you was like, okay, I can rock with this? Because I
Okay.
mean, I really
Now,
don't know like how we really gonna get into this.
yeah, but I do want to say something that you said a few times. I appreciate the freshness. I do. It's also it's like I said, it's more of a in my eyes, it's more of an advanced Ouija board. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Where
yeah.
they kind of took it, where they give us the visuals. Like what I'm saying, when it comes to Ouija boards, like we don't really get the visuals as much.
Hmm.
But like in this, I appreciate them coming up with an idea and trying to execute it. Now, did they execute certain things right? I think the makeup was really good in this movie. I think a
Oh,
lot of
phenomenal,
the
especially for a
spirits
film
or
festival
ghosts,
movie.
yeah, they murdered that shit. They
Yeah,
did. They really did.
yeah.
I appreciate that. I think what's really throwing me off is just more of the I appreciate you throwing darts at a board. You know what I'm saying? Trying to come up with something new and giving fresh ideas, because I do appreciate that.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was necessarily executed the best. I just think that, but I think for most people who watch films, I think this shit hit differently than it hit to me. I think because how much I love and enjoy horror movies, and the horror movies that I grew up on, like I guess I'm just not. I guess I'm like the old man, like I'm the old get off my lawn man, where I'm not like kind of adjusting to the times,
Right.
because watching this, I'm just sitting here really. It's bothering me that these kids are like really playing with death the way that they are,
Hmm.
and just inviting, what I'm saying, spirits to get inside of them, and they think it's funny.
Right.
And if you think about, what I'm saying, teenagers now, yeah, this would be funny to teenagers, and
You
that's
know
why I
what? I
say
don't.
maybe I'm
I'm not.
losing touch.
I'm not sure it would be though. right? Because the it seems like it would, right? For the movie at least, it seems like that would be something that teenagers would be like, when you see that shit, after you let go and they release you from that shit, after you see that shit, ain't no like kicking it around and look at that. No, like they
See,
seen
they
that shit.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they seen that shit. It was like, all right, okay, I must. No, you got me fucked up. When she first grabbed that motherfucker and they did that little beep, the little glimpse, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, this shit don't even waste no time. Like, soon as you touch it, you there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, nah, I'm out. No, I don't want no parts of that shit. Unbuckle me now.
Yeah, that whole shit of like, no, you didn't do it right. Tell them you'll let him in. I ain't letting the shit in. What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
Exactly.
Like,
You said I
no,
ain't
like
do it
I'm
right. Dude, no, nigga, I did it right. I touched it. I seen it. We good. That's real. Nah, I'm out of here.
yeah, that's all I need to do.
Yeah. This ain't
Yeah,
no
I saw
play.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Then no, I'm
yeah,
gonna tell
like
you I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you
that's
the
the
craziest. I'm gonna tell you the craziest part of all this shit, right? They all sitting there and shit. And when the one took me over and they was talking to her or whatever. And that motherfucker was like, it's gonna get you. He coming for you, little one, and all that shit. And then the door opened and everybody looked, and then the motherfucker closed. It was like, oh, hey man, hey, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Australia and what they used to, but that's not normal. That's not how life should be lived. Get the fuck out of
no,
there.
exactly, not at all. And then because she looked at Riley and she was like, he really likes you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And that kind of really gave you, you know what I'm saying, like, us being the movie watchers that we are, like, I'm pretty sure that shit, a light bulb went off in our head, like, yeah,
oh
something's gonna
yeah,
happen with Riley later.
absolutely.
Something weird is gonna happen with Riley. And when
Hmm.
Riley kept begging to do it, you like, all right, man, like, this don't seem like a good idea, man, because
Bro, let me tell you what was so crazy. So dude tried to snatch it from him, right? What was so weird was he couldn't get it out of his head. Now, mind you, he done snatched it from everybody. Tried to snatch it from Riley, couldn't do it. And then that's when shit started getting crazy. He started bashing his head on the table. Now his shit busted open, he bleeding and shit. Try to get it again, the motherfucking chair just slides back, bro, into the window. Bow, bust the window. And he started banging his head on the shit. First and foremost, you already knew something was gonna be crazy when the goddamn door opened. Okay, the door opened on its own. Nobody opened the door. Nobody was on the other side of that door. We seen it. Time to stop playing the game. The game over. Okay, the game is over. If you playing Madden, okay, and the quarterback starts calling timeout and you not calling timeout, turn that
yeah,
motherfucker off.
yo, but that is an analogy for your
Turn that motherfucker off. Cause
ass.
something ain't right. Okay? Disconnect that shit, man. Cause it's just one of those things where I get it. It's the horror movie. We need it for the horror and all that shit. But bro, it's certain things where common sense has to come into play. That
See
it just
that
it was too much. It was too much idiocracy in this shit.
that is what bothered me.
Yeah.
It was that part. It was the part of like, you're seeing things, but see, they're looking at it like, oh, well, let's see how far we can push it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
felt I felt like that's what was going on with this, and like to me, like it kind of irritated me because it's like, with like for us, like the dumb shit was you hear the noise, then you go investigate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're
Yeah.
running and you slip and fall, but you don't get up and start running again. You just
You
start
just start
crawling and
straight.
shit.
Yeah.
So like like for us, like the new generation, it's
Yeah.
more of like, let's see the dumbest thing we could do and see
Yeah.
if we can make it even more dumber. Like,
Yeah.
and like that's what really tripped me out about this movie because it's like obviously, first of all, even when it comes to Mia, right?
Hmm.
everyone knew, like, even when she went to the party, like, nobody was really fucking talking to her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was really like the eyeball of the whole shit. And
Cause
I
she
think it's
was the
because
fucking sad case. Nobody
exactly
wanted
like
that
everybody.
motherfucker around. All that. uh, Now listen, I get it. You know what I'm saying? People grieve and they go through their things or whatever, and that's cool. Man, after 2 years, god damn, how sad
Yeah,
can you be? And then you bring this motherfucker to the party with all that sad shit. We over here trying to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? We smoking weed. We trying to have fun. And you bring the woe is me motherfucker in. Oh nah, fuck no.
yeah. The
That
woe is
motherfucker,
the
that motherfucker Haley said, "Why'd you bring her?"
yo. I was looking at Haley and I was trying to figure it out, and I
Super
figured it out.
androgynous. Super androgynous.
Well, I saw. You know, they are a transgender.
Yeah.
Um, and they
Oh,
identify as
okay.
non-binary. Was it masculine?
I
Or
don't
what?
know none of them terms,
Yeah.
but I
So,
once
because
you
I
said
was
transgender, it
looking
made sense.
and I was like, well, the face
Same.
kind of looked like a girl, and I was
No,
trying to put
okay.
it
The
together.
face to me looked like a boy. The body looked like a girl. That's what fucked me up.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. And I was trying to figure it out, and
Mhm.
I look at the IMDb and oh, got you.
Yeah.
Now,
But I
now.
mean, respect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Representation, all
yeah.
that.
No, no
So
issue,
yeah,
no issue. No,
yeah.
I was just looking and I was just trying to figure it out because I was like, I was trying to see if anybody said he or she, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I was trying to, just trying to put it together. But
Played a great asshole, by the way.
yeah, but they was telling the truth at the party though,
Yeah, Haley
and
wasn't with
she
that shit.
said Haley was like, "Yo, and look, he's been all, she's been all cushy with your boyfriend." She said, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, they're just friends." Like, yeah, we'll see. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
friends. Look at their exes.
Yeah,
You know what
so
I'm
it's
saying?
just like it was super. And then that's another thing that we got to talk about. Y'all best friends, but that's your ex, and now you're dating them.
Hey man, good point. Before we
What
get
was
there
it?
though, we Haley and what's his name? Josh, Haley and Josh. Who the fuck are these kids?
I have
And
no
where are their
idea.
parents at?
I was about.
How are they just running amok the way that they do? I mean, these
I was just
motherfuckers
about to
got
say that.
liquor. These motherfuckers got access to drugs. I'm like, who the fuck what the fuck kind of teenagers are these motherfuckers? They got a dead hand. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in Australia with these teenagers, man? This shit is crazy. But no, you're right though. Like, you would assume that Daniel would have been off limits, right? You would,
You would
that's
assume.
he should have been untouchable. But you know what I'm saying? Jay was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Finders keepers, nigga.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it's really between Jade and Mia. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, what's his name? Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel should know. Like, these two girls are friends. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
And
man. Hey, you can't put that on Daniel. Daniel was macking, my
I
nigga.
mean, I mean, I'm not putting it on Daniel. But then at the same time, to go to the house, and like you said, I think when it comes to Mia, I feel like, and I can't remember because I watched it once. I can't remember because they got to a point when they started doing it where they kind of got like they was kind of jumping around. They didn't really show them like blow out the candle,
Right.
and I wasn't sure if when Mia did it, like like the last time when people was in the presence,
Mm-hmm.
because I know when she did it by herself, obviously she couldn't blow the fucking candle out.
Right.
She was, what I'm saying, she let the person in and she was by herself. But I felt like she was seeing stuff before then.
Who,
So I'm
Mia?
trying to figure out, like, did they maybe forget to blow out the candle with her?
No, they
Or
always blew out the candle except for the situation with
with
Riley. I mean
Daniel?
that
Riley. Yeah, except for
yeah,
Riley.
that blew out itself. But he was already taking over, so it was already too late for that. But with her, I think when she did it by herself, that was different. Because remember, when she did it by herself, she didn't say I let you in. She just said, "Talk to me." And when
And it
she
was
was
her
saying,
mom, and
"Yeah,"
she
and
laid
she was
down
just
with her
asking
mom.
questions.
Yeah.
And I think that was a different situation because that is a whole different connection at that point.
Yeah, she's sitting with her dead mom. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get answers
Right.
because her dad wouldn't give her. I think that's another reason. Well, one of the reasons why she was upset with her dad because her dad wouldn't really tell her around that time what really happened. You know what
Right.
I'm saying with her mom or whatever. And so that's why she was so obsessed with like seeing her mom and asking her mom like,
Trying to
"Yo, like
figure
what
out what
really
the fuck
happened?"
happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess she just needed kind of answers to kind of move on.
But she
But
fucked herself up though, because now she opened herself up to whoever the fuck was going on. Because remember, when they after everything happened, she popped up at the hospital. And when she came to the hospital, they was like, "Nah, we ain't fuck with you. We don't want you here." And before she got to the hospital, I'm sorry, is when she had did the thing with her mom. When she
yeah,
got to the hospital, that's when, you know what I'm saying, the connection was already made, and I don't think she ever severed the connection. So with her not severing the connection, remember that's when she started seeing shit and everything in the hospital, and it started fucking with her. And then when she came out of, because I think she went to the bathroom or some shit, she started hearing shit.
yeah,
And then when she comes out the bathroom, she runs because she sees Daniel. She runs and goes to the staircase. Daniel follow her, he trying to figure out the fuck going on. And then he like, "Well, I could take you home, you know what I'm saying, but I don't want to go home, blah, blah, blah." She like, "You could just stay with me." And that's when one of the spirits take her over and shit get kinky. It get
she
real
got super
kinky in
kick.
that bitch. You know what I'm saying? The spirit starts sucking, you know what I'm saying, my man Daniel toes. Now, I'm not sure how heavy a sleeper you are. I don't sleep that heavy. Okay.
Me
You
neither.
can open up a door, sneeze around me, and I'm waking up instantly. You gonna suck my toes, fam?
I mean, for a good 15, 25 seconds.
Listen, first and foremost, okay. She instantly should have got kicked in the face. He
Yeah,
woke up
that
way
was
too calm for that shit.
yeah,
He
too
woke up
calm.
like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Bitch, get the fuck off my feet. What are you
Yeah,
Hey, she'd have got soccer kicked in the mouth. Her whole shit would have
yeah,
been fucked
bloody
up,
nose or
rearranged.
something.
Yeah, she'd have been all fucked up. But it was crazy because she's watching the spirit do this, right? And she's trying to tell Daniel, like, "Daniel, wake up." Like, she trying to eat you, wake up. And then when it showed Daniel, you realize it's her doing that shit. The spirit is taking her over. So now it looks super crazy. So now this nigga Daniel freaked out. He like, "Hey, I don't know what you on, but this ain't it." Now, rewind a little bit. They smashed before all this.
You can tell.
No, they showed it
All right, they did.
before they laid down and went to sleep. They smashed.
I thought that was like a vision. I didn't know that
No,
was real. I
they
thought that
were
was a vision.
smashing. They smashed.
So why
So,
were they sleeping foot? You know what I'm saying, head to foot? Then I mean, what's the point of that?
man, who knows? They Australian. I don't know.
Yo, don't do
Yo,
Igazania like that.
my man tired. He done got one off. Next thing you know, he wake up. She starts sucking his feet. He like, "Hey, you going a little too far for me, man." You know what I'm saying? I done already gave the Dino. It's over. Time out. I don't want this. This is not my thing. I'm not king shaming. This ain't my thing. So you know what I'm saying? He get his shit. He bounce. He like, "Yo, you look too weird for me." Okay. I don't know who you been dealing with after we broke up, but that's not my style. Um, and so now, you know what I'm saying, like Daniel leave out, whatever. And when they had all met back up, when she was trying to explain everything and they had all met back up, remember her, Haley, Josh, and Daniel was all sitting there, and Jay, and they was all sitting there, and that's when Jay found out that they fucked. And that's when Jade was cussing out Daniel. She was like, "You fucked her? I should have known it." Da, 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 da. So that's how I figured out, like, oh, that was real.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right.
That's when I figured out it was real, because I thought it was. I also thought it was a vision, like she was envisioning that happening. But I'm like, oh no, that was real.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was already weird, man. You know what I'm saying? The whole situation with Riley, I thought that for him to be possessed, they could have did a little bit better with that, because it was only giving you glimpses of his possession. You know what I'm saying? Like the first one we seen it, and then the second one where Jade was trying to help him, and she was, you know what I'm saying, watching him up or whatever, and then like he just fall over and start banging his head back into the thing and licking his blood. I'm like, oh, okay, crazy shit,
Whew.
right? But
Yeah, but
I think that's when Sue kind of understood what the fuck was going on.
yeah,
She
because
was like,
she
this is something
completely
totally
changed.
different.
Yeah, she changed her approach when it comes to Mia because
Yeah.
she thought Mia and look, I don't know how far Mia got into it because she said she only tried to smoke weed one time, but it felt like Sue seen her like really fucked up because it seemed like it might have been more than a weed thing. I mean, I don't
Or
know.
or maybe knowing what happened to her mom, she kind of thought that was, you know what I'm saying, what Mia was on. Because her mom, remember, her mom OD'd.
Yeah, and she also was like, well, when the mom said she was like, yo, I didn't do it intentionally. Now I'm thinking,
Like the dad did it or something.
see, I didn't know if when I heard her mom say it, I thought she was saying she was sick
Hmm.
and just kind of like maybe kind of did it, but she did it because she was like, yo, like I'm going, like it's like
Yeah.
too much pain. Like I was thinking maybe like the mom's had cancer or some shit
Yeah.
because when she said, she was like, yeah, I did it, but it wasn't like intentional in the way of like, yo, I was trying, like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be
That
that.
really wasn't clear cut.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it all the way of like what was really going on with the moms, but
Right.
yeah. So but the mom, yeah. After that happened, the mom Sue, she really kind of looked at this whole shit differently after that.
Yeah.
And she kind of really kind of, she apologized to me. It was like, yo, I'm sorry that, what I'm saying, I overreacted. I never
Hmm.
should have said that to you and
Well,
all that type of shit.
I feel her, but she ain't really overreact. As a
I mean,
parent,
look,
she did overreact.
yeah, for your child to be looking the way that he looked, like,
Yeah,
yo,
that's not an
yo,
overreaction. That's
everybody's a
valid.
suspect.
Yeah, that's valid for sure. That was valid.
I
Um,
mean, I'm mad at Jay too. You know what I
yeah, for
mean?
sure. Cause she walked out.
But yeah. So, but at the same time, all right, let's be real. Hold on, let's
Mhm.
go on for a second. So Riley, all banged up,
Mhm.
right? They called the police. Now let's be honest. This is what the story is. Mr. Officer, we're playing this game where we grab this hand and we
Mhm.
say, talk to me. And then we say, let us in.
No, no, that's not what
Because
happened. That's
because
not what
because
happened.
what did they tell the cops?
They didn't tell the cops anything. Remember, old dude showed them the video.
So because I was sitting there thinking like, what like why they ain't no arrest. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the video do show the dude doing it to himself.
Oh, what's the
But
dude's
like
name? The little fat boy.
I forgot what the fat boy name was. I mean, I know who you're talking about because
His
because the
friend.
fat boy is his age, is Riley's age. They
Was
were
it
the
Peck?
two young ones.
Was it?
I'm not
It might have
sure
been
because
Peck.
because I think these people aren't as well known.
Who
Everybody don't
usually
have
these people
pictures
be?
on IMDb,
Because the
so
crazy part is the top bill cast ain't even like the main people.
yeah, it's super weird.
it's either Peck or Cole. One of them, whoever was the best friend for Riley, he was the one. He remember he recorded it, but he ended up showing them the video because when they had ended up talking, he was like, I can't believe he showed them the video. So that's how they figured out what had basically happened, and that's why wasn't nobody charged or nothing because it was some weird shit that they couldn't explain.
Yeah, but that's still super weird, man.
Absolutely,
That's super
absolutely.
weird. But I don't know, man. I'm in the middle with this movie because I agree with you as far as never seen anything like this before.
Yeah,
It
but
is like a fresh.
it's a lot of holes in it though. It's a lot of
Yeah,
holes in it though.
yeah.
I
That's
agree
what
with
I'm
you
saying.
because it's so for me, right? When I'm watching this, it's not hard to keep up with what's going on. I think it's excuse me. I think it's I think it's more so hard to understand the background of everything, right? Because, for instance, like how you said, like with the hand, we really don't even understand what the hand really is, except for the fact that we know that the hand does this. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know how they got it. We don't know none of that. Um, we really don't even understand how Riley was the one that ends up getting chose to do all this other shit. Like why he was the one. Like it's a bunch of shit that goes
I got a
unexplained.
theory. I got a theory.
Yeah.
Riley, I think Riley was the most vulnerable.
The
What I
most innocent.
mean by the most vulnerable, yeah, is because after he saw Mia do it the first time, he went to Jade.
Yep.
Jade, are you awake? She's like, no. He's like, you don't even know what I'm gonna ask. And she's like, you're gonna ask to sleep with me, like you're not 9 anymore. You know what I mean? Like go to
Mm-hmm.
bed. Then he goes to sleep with Mia. What I'm saying is he's the most vulnerable, he's the most, I would say, open minded, and he's the most afraid. So
Speaking of, how old is
I,
this nigga? How old is he?
I think Riley's probably like 13, maybe like 14, maybe like 14,
Gotta get
15.
rid of that teddy bear shit, bro. This nigga was walking around
Yeah,
with the teddy bear. That was crazy.
that's what
Too
I'm
old for
saying.
that.
And I think that, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, spirits feed off the weak, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why Riley was the one, like, when Mia looked at him, was like, yo, yeah, they like you because they
Mm-hmm.
know, oh, you're going to be the most
Ooh, he
vulnerable.
was the most
You,
pure. He was the most pure. You're right. That
yeah.
is a good one. That is a good theory. That is a
So
good theory.
I do think that they was like, yo, like, we know we'll be easier to be able to take control of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you'll be, you know what I'm saying? He's basically the easiest target.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like he was the easiest target in that way, and Mia was the easier target to
Let's
kind of
move.
take over in that way because I think that they were two easy targets, but for two totally different reasons.
Absolutely. Yep. I agree.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
I think because she was grieving, they were like, oh, well, she's going to be more vulnerable because she's dealt with loss, and we can also use her mother to kind of fuck this whole shit up. And
Mm-hmm.
Riley, he's the most innocent, he's the most vulnerable, and all this type shit. We can
Mm-hmm.
take, you know what I'm saying, his soul to be easier to take. Well, I guess that's kind of in a way you can kind of put it.
Basically, yeah, because remember when they were in the hospital and I think they had both touched them or something like that, and one of them had the
Yeah,
hand because the
yeah.
hand had something to do with getting that out of him, and she was trying to take the hand and put it back on him so they could reverse it or whatever, and I guess when they both touched it, they seen him getting like torn apart and all that other shit.
Well, Mia saw it. She's the only one who saw it.
I thought Jay saw it too.
Did she?
Cause remember they when they both fell back, they both like kind of reached back like what the fuck, like they was in shock. So I mean, I know for sure Mia did because she the
Yeah.
one that's she connected. Now I'm assuming that Jay did. I'm not sure if she did or not, but I'm assuming she did.
Yeah. And I think that Mia kind of felt responsible, but then at the same time, like you said, I don't remember the timeline. I mean, but I go with what you're saying when it comes to 2 years. It's kind of like, yo, if you're still grieving this shit over 2 years, and like
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, everybody grieve differently,
Right.
but you also got to understand that like me, I'm to the point where, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, we live to die. Like that's what we do. Like we all gonna
Mm-hmm.
die, we all ain't gonna live long. Like, it's just one of the things we gotta kind of accept. But everybody can grieve at their own. I'm not gonna rush, what I'm saying, somebody to grieve or whatever, whatnot. But it does become a point where it's like, yo, at some point you have to move on because it's a part of life. And it just seems like Mia, it just seemed like she never was gonna move on from that.
Right.
So
It seemed like she was stuck in the situation with her dad didn't help because she wasn't trying to open up with her dad or talk to her dad. It just seemed like she was not going anywhere from that loss.
yeah,
So yeah, you are definitely right about that for
yeah.
sure.
So it makes sense for her to end up, what I'm saying, dying because it's like what I'm saying, you're basically you're running on the treadmill. You're not moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Hmm.
just staying in place and you're not getting over this, what I'm saying, with your mom. And then she not stabbed her fucking dad. So she was gonna be going to jail any fucking way for stabbing her
Yo,
dad with a fucking
that shit was
yo, that scene was
crazy.
crazy.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, that scene was crazy.
Um.
Because she's envisioning her dad attacking her. And
Hmm.
so she's reaching for the scissors, and then the dad is banging on the door, and you like, oh shit, well that ain't the dad. It's not your
Right.
dad that's attacking you. And
Right.
he breaks down the door and see her struggling by herself, and
Hmm.
then all of a sudden she's able to reach the fucking scissors when he gets there, when the
And
real
stab
dad
him.
gets there
Yeah.
and stabs the dude in the neck. So
Which is fucking crazy.
yeah, and the dad is tough because a lot. Well, maybe she just missed the artery. Because I think there are parts of your neck where, what I'm saying, you can kind of stab it and you don't hit the artery. Because the
Hmm.
dad was still alive when Jay got there.
Hmm.
So she must have missed the artery on her dad.
Right.
But it still would have been kind of hard to explain to the cops. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You stabbed your dad with a fucking
Absolutely.
scissors. Like, you know what I'm saying? You about to catch this case. You know what I'm saying? So she was
Absolutely.
about to get locked up any fucking way. So,
So real quick, explain to me this part, right? So when she go back to the hospital and she's trying to figure out how to fix all this shit or save Riley or whatever, what was the purpose of her taking him out of the hospital and taking him to the fucking highway? Was that her or was like she being possessed at that time?
dude, I have no fucking idea.
Cause I got
To
confused as fuck.
me,
I'm like, cause what was the fucking point of that?
that's what I'm saying. Because when she was rolling it and she got close to the ledge, it was that old person with the fucked up face and no teeth.
Right.
So I don't know if she's seeing that or you know I don't know if she's seeing that or if like you said maybe she was still possessed the whole time. I
Yeah.
don't really understand like that whole scene by the what I'm saying,
Cause
by
that's
the
what
interstate.
that shit confused the fuck out of me. Cause it's like she gets him and then she's rolling him toward the highway, and you can hear Jade trying to stop everything, and she trying to interfere with everything, and she doing like all this stuff to try to get her to come to and all this other stuff, and then Jade catches up to him, and for a minute you think that Jade stops it.
Yeah,
Then you see the pan out of Mia in the highway. Like you see the car, you hear the thump, and then you see the car crash, and then you see the pan out of Mia laying out in the highway, and then she gets up, and you see people running to her, which is crazy because I'm like, she was fucked up.
yeah.
And then next thing you know, you just see her holding somebody's hand, and that's when you realize, oh shit, she died.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you when I knew she died. So when they do the pan out and she's laying
Mm-hmm.
out on the street,
Right.
she stands up, she turns around and she looks, and then she turns the other way and she in the hospital. I was like, oh yeah, she dead. I was like,
Well, yeah, I
she's
mean,
dead.
I knew she was dead when about a, you know what I'm saying, the way that she laying there. I'm saying
Yeah,
like
I knew. Yeah,
just the when they go to the hand, that's when they kind of that's the reveal of, oh, she's dead, and then
yeah, yeah,
it just goes black.
yeah.
I'm
Because
like,
now she's on the other side.
yeah, and I'm like, basically, this whole thing was just trying to get her and her mom. I mean, I don't know. Like, where was her mom at this whole time with helping her get away from this shit? Because her mom was talking about this whole time. I don't want to hurt you. I want to help you. I want you to be okay and all this other shit. But where the fuck was you at?
Where her mom was touching her shoulder when she was holding the fucking wheelchair. It felt like, to me, I could be wrong about this, just a theory, because her mom was talking to her in her ear when she was holding the wheelchair, and then all of a sudden the camera flips to this other car, and then you hear the thud.
Yeah.
And then I think the mom threw her ass up there, man. I think the mom threw her in the street.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying. I think the mom threw her in the street, man.
So look, remember the first time when she was sitting there by herself and she was talking to her mom, right?
Yeah.
And she was asking her mom the questions and all that shit. I for sure was thinking her mom was gonna flip the script and try to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the whole thing with the situation, because remember her mom was talking to her and shit, and her dad busting the room and all this other shit, like the demon dad and shit, he going crazy, and tried to kill her, and then she ended up stabbing her dad. I think that was all her mom.
I think so.
I think her mom really killed herself, and she was trying to get her to come with her. Because
and
that's
also
the only thing that made sense.
And also the mom used Riley.
Yeah.
For them to go over the 50 seconds.
So her mom was basically behind this whole fucking thing. That's the only thing I could think of, bro.
Yeah. Mom Deuce wasn't a good soul no more.
She's a piece of shit.
Thank you.
That's the only thing I could. That shit was crazy. And you can tell she's a piece of shit because in that video, when she said, "Mom, say something to the people," her mom looked in the video and said, "Suck my ass." So that's not cool. That's not cool, bro.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? So off rip, I already knew, you know what I'm saying, her mom wasn't cool. That was wild.
Yeah, Mom Deuce was weird. And I think Mom Deuce threw her in the street, man.
For sure.
I think Mom threw her in the street. But I think it was because I think that her mom wanted her with her. Yeah, which is kind of fucked up and selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, she was selfish to kill yourself too.
Exactly. But at the same time, mom's looking at her like, yo, I've been dead all this time. You still hung up on this shit. So maybe you ain't never gonna get better. So you might as well go ahead and come with me because you're a Debbie Downer everywhere you go.
Any of my
you walking to the party.
Y'all listening? I'm telling y'all now, no thanks. I'll wait for my time. Don't try to bring me over there with y'all.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Fuck that shit. Like, I mean, it's I'm gonna be quiet. But man, this was a. I'm not saying that the movie. Look, it's not a terrible movie. It's not that. It's just, I guess
pieces.
It is a lot of missing pieces, but I also just feel like I do 1000% agree with you on. It was a new idea. It was them trying to do something that hasn't necessarily been seen before. But I do feel that it is similar to like the Ouija movies and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're really toying with the same stuff. I mean, a lot of this is still, you know what I'm saying?
Talking to spirits and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all the same thing. It's just doing it a different way. You bring your cell phones in it. Everybody's recording and shit. And with a lot of like the new age, and I'm not looping all of these kids in the same realm, obviously, but there are some kids that will look at this shit and be like, yo, that looks fun as fuck. Like, that would be entertaining. Like, let's watch these people freak out, you know, with these spirits climbing in their bodies and stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm looking at this shit like, yo, first of all, I'm not chaining myself to a chair. Like, but let's speak hypothetically. Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't know it was a dead hand at first. Well, the two dudes did. Well, Haley and what, Josh or whatever, like, they knew.
No, everybody knew.
Remember,
before they did that, they explained what the fuck what they was doing, and they was like, it's an embalmed hand.
Nah, fuck that. I ain't touching
Yeah,
it.
I'm out.
But yeah, but like at the same time, it's kind of like hypothetically speaking. Let's say I did get in the chair
Mhm.
and let them tie me up or whatever, and
Mhm.
then I touch the hand and I see a dead motherfucker in front of me, and y'all talking about some no, you do it right. Say let me in, kiss my ass, get me out this goddamn
Let me
chair.
out.
Like I saw
Let
what I
me
needed to
out.
see. Like
Fuck. Yeah, I'm out.
yo, this is as far as I'm going. Like I see it, let me in. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who tells a dead person to get in my body? Like yo, listen, that shit puzzled the fuck out of me because,
Absolutely.
but a lot of these young kids today, man, they're more risky. They're more. It seems like they'll take more risks with shit. So the
Mhm.
movie probably makes sense for the general public, but there are some people like me and you that's
Mhm.
looking at this shit like, fuck no,
Me too.
I'm not inviting the fucking spirit to get inside of me. Like
Not
what?
at all.
Nah,
First
man.
off, I'm not
I want,
inviting nothing to get inside of me. I'm telling you that right now. I
dude.
don't
I
want
won't even.
nothing
How
inside
many
of me at
times?
all.
Yo, how many times we
Spirit,
done said on?
ghost, none of that shit.
Yo, how many times have we done both said on this podcast? We both ain't saying Candyman in the mirror 5 times.
I don't play with none of that shit. I
And
don't
you
play with
think
no
I'm gonna
mirror.
say,
Yeah, none of that shit.
yeah, you think I'm gonna look at a dead person in front of me and say, I allow you in?
And then,
What?
and the crazy part is like it ain't like a regular like person dead person. It's like the dead person then deaf dead person.
Nah, fuck
Like if a
that.
motherfucker got ran over and like they face was squashed, that's how they look in the. Yeah, I'm cool on that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No,
So
nope.
let's go ahead and do Fire Flames, man.
Let's do it.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
All right, man. What's your rating, bro? What you got for this thing?
Um, it's tough because I do ask for new ideas. I am happy that they did try to do something new. And this is not say this all the time, man. Like we getting so many remakes and
Yeah.
and reboots and stuff because people are not coming up with new creative ideas. So I do want to give them some brownie points for trying to be creative and coming up with a
Mm-hmm.
new idea. So I do want to give points for that. But like you mentioned earlier, it do feel like it was a lot of holes. It do feel like that the script could have been a little bit more better. Um, with this being an Australian film, we don't really
Mm-hmm.
know the people. Not that they were bad. I mean, I don't think anybody was necessarily like a bad actor. I think that they did do good at that part. Um, I just think that the movie wasn't completely polished. So
Right.
I'm gonna I'm I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I'm gonna give it a
Mm-hmm.
3.5 because I do like the creativeness of it. And I do think, even though I've never seen any of these people before, I think that they did do a good job. Mia did a very convincing job when she was fucking possessed.
Mm-hmm.
Like she did, she did that shit. So, but the reason I'm gonna give it 3.5, like, will I ever watch this again? Nah, I won't ever watch it again. But I keep it there at 3.5.
Um. Okay, so I'm gonna go a half a notch below you. I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't really know much about the cast, but like you said, on screen, I feel like they all did a very convincing job. Um, especially for us to not know exactly who they were. Um, but this does seem like a film festival movie, right? Like it
Yes.
seems like they entered this into the film festival and then left it as it is. They didn't really like touch it up or brush it up or nothing. A lot of missing pieces, a lot of questions still needed to be answered. Um, just ultimately, I feel like it was a lot more that could have been fixed and made this movie way better. I think that this movie had a very high ceiling with what the premise was. I think that they just kind of missed the mark, and once they had it, I think they just kind of roll with it. Um, but Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Replay value is probably very low. It's not one of those ones that I'm gonna go back and watch. Like if this is on TV, I'm skipping past this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This is just not one of them ones I'm going to. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. So
Okay.
let's jump into the coming soon.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, so the next movie that we got, man, is a very interesting movie. Needless to say, with a pretty interesting cast. I believe this just came out this year or toward the
Uh,
end of last year.
I think it was the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but it's the Book of Clarence. Lakeith Stanfield is the star of this film. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. If you know you want to catch up on it before we get to it, or if you want to listen to us beforehand and then go watch it, it's all up to you. But that'll be the next episode, so you guys stay tuned and be ready. Um, and if you enjoyed this episode, if you didn't enjoy this episode, if you too uh are very opposed to touching dead hands, let us know on the socials, Instagram and Twitter at ViewAnon Pod, Facebook VA Pod Watch Group. You can hit us up on in the comments on YouTube. Also hit us up on Patreon. Sign up. We only got one tier, and that's it. I'm sorry, patreon.com/viewers anonymous. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. Link tree in the bio. You can follow me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at S.Foster8 on Instagram, Twitter, and not YouTube, TikTok. Um, the reason I was about to say YouTube because I'm waiting on you to put the
I
YouTube's
know,
up so I
yeah,
can get those clips.
man.
Um,
I got you. I got you. They will be up this week. I promise y'all, man.
and uh, follow 28 minutes or less. It's on all major platforms. The latest episode I did put out a new episode, man. I did. I got back on my gangster series, and I did the most notorious, most biggest gangster to ever touch the United States soil, in
Absolutely.
J. Edgar Hoover. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I did an episode on him. You know what I'm saying? Got into the whole COINTELPRO type of thing. So go check out that on all major platforms, and that's all I got.
All right, man. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. I better say your success. Much success, man. But your support is always greatly appreciated. Without you, there could be no us. And until the next episode, like they said, Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.